What is going on, everyone? Welcome into Big Time Football Talk. So I want to get into this. We're going to do something a little bit different. Now that NFL season is here, I want to transition to doing some fantasy football talk. We're going to get to DraftKings, so I want to break down some of my top plays heading into Week 1. This is a reminder of the Thursday through the Sunday slate. So if you just play the Sunday games, if I mention a guy that plays on Sunday, just keep him in mind. This is also not just the value plays. I know of when you look up online for some of the top plays, they just give you the value. These are some of the guys that are good value, and these are some of the guys that are higher priced. I tend to not take a lot of guys that are, I don't tend to not take a lot of the chalk unless it was like a few years ago when David Johnson and Le'Veon Bell were just going off, so everyone was just locking in those two guys, and then they were looking up for like the the value plays at receiver. But that's obviously not the case anymore. But starting at quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger, 64K on DraftKings. He plays the Giants defense that obviously is not one of the best defenses in the NFL, and Big Ben hurt a lot last year. I think he's going to come out hungry, and I think that this is a good pick at 6,400. And another guy has Ryan Fitzpatrick's. The New England defense is missing pieces this year, and it's going to be a good play against the Miami Dolphins. Obviously, a defense that is not very great, and this is like I said, the best value at quarterback, likely 5,300 on DraftKings. And Phillip Rivers, 6K on DraftKings, plays a terrible Jacksonville Jaguars defense. And I think this is a sneaky good play because I think if they get the run game working, Phillip Rivers can hit a couple deep shots and that'll really hit value for you. A couple long touchdowns. And Cam Newton at 6,100. I think he really wants to make a statement with New England in Game 1. Versus the Dolphins. So, both quarterbacks end this game. I think this could be a good offensive game. Cam Newton obviously in a position to succeed. And, I think that's that's a pretty good value play at 6,100. Heading over to running back, Clyde Edwards-Helaire at 7K. He's a guy that I think will shine early. I think he's hungry to make a statement. This is a guy that has a tremendous work ethic, one of the tougher running backs I've seen in recent years, and I think he's ready to shine on Thursday Night Football. Obviously not the cheapest, but I think this is a safe play. I think if you're in a 50-50 league, locking Edwards in at 7K is a pretty safe move, to be honest. And Mark Ingram versus the Browns. This is just one of those games I kind of have a feeling that Mark Ingram's just going to find the end zone. I think Baltimore seems to move the ball pretty easily on Cleveland in recent years. It's kind of one of those, I think it's like a psychological thing. They usually have success against Cleveland, so I think Mark Ingram finds the end zone in this game. And pretty good value at 5,500. So next guy, Jonathan Taylor, kind of like in that mid-range to a little bit cheaper at 5,700. I think Jonathan Taylor is a guy I love this week. I think he really shines against the Jacksonville Jaguars, a team that has just kind of gutted their roster. And, this is just not a good run defense like it was a few years ago. So I think Jonathan Taylor, might not get a lot of attempts, but I think he breaks a big touchdown and hits value. Or goes, in that case, he would go over value at 5,700. And then Todd Gurley at 6,100. I think this might be arguably the best value if he gets a heavy workload. Because people talk about Atlanta really struggled to run the ball last year, but Todd Gurley this year, I went back and watched some of those games, and, Freeman he looked like he had lost a step or was dealing with injuries. If Todd Gurley, cuts it up and hits the hole like he's capable of with his explosion and his power, I think Todd Gurley has a big day against, a Seattle defense that does have Jamal Adams, but I think he's just one guy, and, the Seattle defense is aged, and it is Week 1, so I think, Todd Gurley with a full workload finds the end zone and, maybe breaks a few longer gains. Wide receiver, A.J. Brown, 6,700. A.J. Brown, super talented guy. Broke out last year. You saw his flashes as a rookie. He plays Denver that no longer has Chris Harris. they have A.J. Bouye, but Bouye is a guy that really has struggled. I think that's, of all the moves Jacksonville made, I don't think this was one that you don't want to debate too heavily because, Bouye played well early on, but last year struggled for Jacksonville, and they moved on for a 4th-round pick for him. Adam Thielen, something about Thielen against Green Bay. I remember a few years ago that it was kind of his coming out party against the Packers. Priced at $6,700, not too bad. Also, Kenny Galladay, one of the best values versus the Bears. Galladay led the NFL in touchdowns. I think with a healthy Stafford, I think there's no way he doesn't find the end zone against the Chicago Bears. So Kenny Galladay, a guy to look for a good value play, and a guy that I really believe will find the end zone. And DK Metcalf is another guy. First Atlanta, I think he hits a home run play. The Atlanta defense really struggled to stop some deep plays. And Metcalf, whether he's matched up against Terrell or Terrell or Isaiah Oliver, I think those are talented guys, but they've tended to give up big plays at times. I think this DK Metcalf will burn them for a big play. And some of the guys I like at tight end, George Kittle is a little bit more pricey, but obviously a super talented guy and a great matchup against the Cardinals, who are not very good against the tight end. Also, Dallas Goedert, Tyler Higbee, you guys to watch out for. Higbee priced pretty well. Goddard, a great value, 4,100. Higbee, I'm not sure. I don't have his price here, but versus Dallas, he's a guy that came on late, and I think that Goff will get it to go. Goff in a opening week game kind of wants to get in his comfort zone of finding the tight end in the last few games, like Higbee last year. So I think Higbee could find the end zone and get some good receptions. So defense, I like the Steelers defense. They're obviously the chalk at 3,900, and then the Titans at 2,800. I think, versus Denver, it's a decent matchup. Also, you have Jadeveon Clowney too, so could provide some pressure, some sacks, and I think they do force a turnover on still a young quarterback in Drew Lock, who, it's his opening week 1. But here's my lineup for 50-50s this weekend: Ben Roethlisberger, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Jonathan Taylor, DK Metcalf, also Darius Slayton, Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp, my safe pick, but, that's okay sometimes in 50-50s. It's safe pick. It's mostly tournaments. You're looking for the home run play at wide receiver. Tyler Higbee, Todd Gurley, and then the Titans defense. So, it's I think that's a solid lineup to, kind of make it. That's like the, a solid 50-50 lineup, because, with a 50-50 lineup, you're not looking for home run plays. You just got to be better than half of the players. That's, that's kind of the name of the game in 50-50s. But thanks for tuning in to this episode of Big Time Football Talk. Make sure to stay tuned for the latest clips from the show. Till next time, peace.